Welcome back to Marvelous Videos. I'm Rylan, and this is Teen Titans, Every Villain Explored. The Teen Titans is one of the most popular superhero teams in the DC Universe, and they have fought off their fair share of villains across the comics as well as in the television series. They have also been a part of the various story arcs and spin-off series, but their most popular appearance has been in the animated Teen Titans series that aired on TV from 2003 to 2006. The show lasted 5 seasons and focused on characters such as Robin, Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Cyborg, and Terra as they fought crime and dealt with their own personal issues. They mostly faced trouble due to Slade, Trigon, and organizations such as the Brotherhood of Evil and the HIVE, and today we will explore all of these villains and tell you all about them. But before we get into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you like our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is just one small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thanks. Now, let's begin.
Public service. Illumination.
Slade Joseph Wilson was one of the most powerful villains in the Teen Titans series, and he constantly stirred up trouble for them across the 3 seasons. He considered Robin to be his arch enemy, and he subsequently went after his team of Titans in hopes of destroying them. Slade also aimed to destroy Jump City and take over the world. He operated from 2 secret bases and even had a massive army of robots to carry out functions for him. Initially, Slade had managed to convince Robin to work for him, and Robin ended up fighting with his team. However, Robin eventually overcame Slade's mind control, and Slade then decided to target another Teen Titan named Terra. He exploited her by promising to teach her to control her powers, and Terra even betrayed her team over this. Eventually, the Titans convinced Terra to get rid of him, and she then threw him into a pit of lava, ultimately killing him. Afterwards, Trigon resurrected Slade on the condition that he would dedicate his life to him and work for him. Slade also gained powers after Trigon branded him with the Mark of Scath. Slade was a criminal mastermind who affiliated himself with various criminal organizations, and he had many powers, such as enhanced strength and speed, as well as mastery over a range of weapons. Brother Blood was the headmaster of the HIVE Academy, and he first encountered the Teen Titans when Cyborg disguised himself to join the academy. Eventually, Brother Blood tried to mind control Cyborg, but the Titan showed excellent immunity to his powers and even destroyed the entire academy. Ultimately, it was revealed that Brother Blood had stolen Cyborg's blueprints when he had hacked into the HIVE computers. Brother Blood then used Cyborg's technology to create an underwater sonic resonator capable of destroying the entire Jump City. Brother Blood failed to execute his plan and ended up on the radar of the Teen Titans, who managed to recover Cyborg's blueprints from his grasp. However, Brother Blood had a photographic memory and used his knowledge to continue creating more trouble for Cyborg and the rest of the Titans as well. He even tried to rebuild HIVE and created an army of robot troopers. He eventually managed to bring a few Titans under his control and even forced Professor Chang to turn him into a cyborg. In the new form, Brother Blood had cybernetic implants that allowed him to control thousands of people at once. However, he was still unable to mind control Cyborg, and he was determined to figure out why the Titan was unaffected by his powers. He eventually took things too far and disabled Cyborg during an encounter, where he realized that Cyborg's human mind and spirit helped him resist his mind control. Cyborg then used his willpower to defeat Brother Blood, who was taken into police custody.
Demonstration is in order.
The Brain and the Brotherhood of Evil. The Brain was the mastermind behind the creation of the Brotherhood of Evil, and he was essentially a scientist who had managed to store his brain even after his death. While he was a scientist, the Brain mutated a gorilla named Monsieur Mallah and taught this creature everything about science and technology. After his death, the beast followed his instructions and ensured his brain lived on. The Brain and Mallah then created the Brotherhood of Evil, and even recruited some other villains, such as Madame Rouge and General Immortus. While they initially only fought the Doom Patrol, the Brotherhood later targeted the Teen Titans as well. The Brain had decided that the Teen Titans were more dangerous since they were young and unpredictable, and he gathered a vast team of villains to expand the Brotherhood of Evil and defeat them. They often targeted Beast Boy, among other Titans, and Beast Boy had once even broken into their base and attacked some of their members of the Brotherhood. Ultimately, the Titans managed to overpower all the villains in a final fight between the Brotherhood and the Teen Titans. The Titans flash froze all the villains to ensure that they didn't stir up any more trouble, and the Brotherhood of Evil was finally defeated by the Teen Titans. Terra was a former member of the Teen Titans who had multiple run-ins with Slade, and she was a morally gray character who often switched sides and betrayed the Titans. She was initially just confused and wanted to be a friend of the Titans, but Slade promised to teach her how to control her powers if she worked with him. Terra then agreed to work alongside him while being a part of the Teen Titans, and Slade eventually told Beast Boy that she was a spy who was working on the bad side from the start. When Beast Boy confronted Terra, she broke down and felt hurt, and finally decided to side with Slade in earnest. However, Robin and the other Titans realized that Slade was manipulating Terra to some extent. As the story arc moved ahead, Terra eventually realized that Slade didn't exactly care about her, and he even fitted her with a suit connected to her nervous system. Realizing that she was now under Slade's control, Terra eventually turned on him, and even attacked him during a clash with the Titans. While Beast Boy and the other Titans watched the scene from a distance, Terra broke Slade's control over her, and created a powerful blast that opened up an underground volcano. Terra got rid of Slade by pushing him into the pit of lava, and then sacrificed her own life by turning herself into stone to stop the lava from spreading across the city. While Terra did some evil things and even stirred up some trouble for the Titans, she was still a misunderstood villain who was manipulated by Slade into committing crimes. Terra was also quite a powerful entity, as she could perform geokinesis and control any earthly substance, ranging from sand and stones to even metals and lava. Red X. Red X was initially a secret identity adopted by Robin to go undercover and learn more about Slade's evil plans. He created this identity with the help of Professor Chang and came up with the Red X suit made of xenothium. While Robin did manage to disguise himself well, he was too impatient, and Slade soon caught wind of his true identity. Robin then stored the Red X suit at Titan's Tower, since the xenothium could not easily be disposed of. Over the next few years, a mysterious villain stole the suit and started stirring up trouble as the new Red X. He often clashed with Robin, and he was eventually seen working alongside the Brotherhood of Evil. There was no specific reason why the Red X went against the Titans or worked with the Brotherhood to destroy them, but it is implied that he eventually left the organization. While wearing the Red X suit, this unknown entity gained immense power from the xenothium fitted into the suit. He could even turn invisible, launch timed explosives, and perform many such actions with the help of the suit. While his true identity was not confirmed, there were rumors that Red X was actually Jason Todd, and Beast Boy also shared this same suspicion. Mad Mod. Mad Mod was a recurring villain throughout the Teen Titans series, who often used technology to create false realities and trap his opponents within these realities by hypnotizing them. He first appeared in the show when he captured the Teen Titans and told them they needed a lesson in respecting villains. He then made them work their way through elaborate traps created within his psychedelic institution, the institution that Mad Mod had built solely based on his wishes. Since the institution did not follow any logical laws, the Titans had difficulty freeing themselves from his grasp. Robin eventually figured out that the whole place was created with the help of holograms to create illusions, and the Titans then managed to break free. Mad Mod later appeared in an episode where he hypnotized the entirety of Jump City into believing that he was their king, and he even turned the place into 1960s London. Mad Mod was especially a huge fan of British culture, and he often talked in a British accent and created false realities inspired by Britain. He did not have any unique superpowers, but he was a master at technology and used holographic projectors to create illusions and control others. He even had a cane that was capable of draining someone's youth, and he would use their youth to make himself young again. He especially hated the Teen Titans because he was jealous of their youth and bitter towards his old age. Trigon. Trigon was an interdimensional being whose main aim was to take control over the entire universe. He was also the father of the Teen Titan known as Raven. Raven considered him to be her archenemy, and he often clashed with the Titans during his attempts to conquer the world. He first appeared in the show as the manifestation of Raven's rage and anger, and she had to fight him to free herself. He later appeared as the primary antagonist of the show's 4th season, wherein he resurrected Slade and even used him to push his plans forward. In that season, Raven accepted her evil side, and Trigon even turned the whole world into stone. Raven eventually used her powers to fight Trigon and declared that he was no longer her father. She then destroyed him and ensured that the world be returned to normal. Trigon has also appeared in some other spin-off shows, such as the Teen Titans Go series. While Raven did defeat him once, he was a demon who wielded a lot of dark power and could never truly be destroyed. He was the manifestation of pure evil, and he was determined to go to any length to conquer the world. Madame Rouge. Madame Rouge's origins still remain a mystery, and nothing much was known about her past before she joined the Brotherhood of Evil. She went on to become their co-leader and spy, and she was one of the team's most valuable members. She was specifically sent on the most important missions, and soon gained a reputation as one of the most ruthless members. She was once sent on a mission to steal the Titan's communicator from the honorary Titan named Wildebeest, but Wildebeest ended up losing his communicator. She then targeted Hotspot and shapeshifted into him to get her hands on a new communicator before finally capturing Wildebeest and taking him back to the Brotherhood's base. She was also idolized by other villains, such as Jinx and the rest of the H.I.V.E, and she fought alongside the Brotherhood in their final fight against the Teen Titans. Madame Rouge usually wore a red latex bodysuit with a skirt, and her entire being was made out of fluids on a molecular level. This allowed her to control her body structure and change into any form at will. She could shapeshift and even change her voice to match the person she imitated. She was also quite a skilled assassin, adept at hand-to-hand combat. Killer Moth and Kitten. Killer Moth was a supervillain who had established himself as one of the Teen Titans' most powerful enemies. He also had a daughter named Kitten. He first came across the Teen Titans when he tried to conquer Jump City by releasing an army of mutant moths, but things took a turn when Kitten threw a tantrum over going to the prom. Killer Moth then abandoned his plan, just to convince Robin to go to the prom with Kitten, and Robin agreed to this plan, despite knowing Killer Moth's true identity. While Robin kept them busy, the rest of the Teen Titans went to Killer Moth's place and found the evidence they needed to get him arrested. He eventually escaped and captured Starfire's pet, Silky, who had started mutating into a monstrous form. He persuaded Silky to attack Jump City, but his plans were thwarted when Starfire convinced the pet to return to her. Eventually, Killer Moth and Kitten both joined the Brotherhood of Evil, and they primarily relied on their mutant moths to ambush the Titans and attack them. While Killer Moth was an arrogant villain who wanted to destroy the Titans and conquer the city, Kitten, on the other hand, was a young girl who often stirred up trouble with her romantic interest, Fang. Blackfire. Born as Commander, Blackfire was the princess of the Kingdom of Tamaran and the older sister of Starfire and Wildfire. She first appeared in an episode titled Sisters, wherein she traveled to Earth to reunite with Starfire and even gave her a Centurion Moon Diamond gift. Blackfire considered Starfire to be her enemy and hoped to get rid of her eventually, but she pretended to be happy to see her and even spent some time with the rest of the Teen Titans. While the Titans didn't really suspect anything, Starfire got skeptical about her presence among them, and they soon learned that Blackfire had just tried to frame Starfire for stealing the jewel she had given to her at the start of their meeting. Eventually, Blackfire was arrested by the Centauri police, but she later broke out of prison and took over the position of the Grand Ruler of Tamara. She was also determined to get her revenge on Starfire, and she even tried to marry her off to an ugly alien. While Starfire learned about this, she defeated her sister once again and banished her from Tamara. Blackfire appeared to be a beautiful girl, but she was also pretty cunning and manipulative.
And wouldn't you like to know? Yes, we would!
Jinx and the H.I.V.E. Jinx was notoriously known as one of the most prominent villains who ever fought the Teen Titans, and she even created the H.I.V.E. While she eventually abandoned her life of crime to become an honorary Titan, she spent a good part of her life trying to stir up trouble for them. She was one of the top students at the HIVE Academy, where she was once sent out on a mission to destroy the Titans. She managed to lure the Titans out of their base, but was eventually defeated by Robin. After Brother Blood became the headmaster of the Academy, Jinx got involved in robbing several banks, but the Academy in itself saw the destruction very soon when Cyborg infiltrated the place and destroyed it. Jinx fell for him when he faked his identity to enter the Academy, and she later felt betrayed and assumed her supervillain persona after Cyborg destroyed the Academy. She created the Hive team with Gizmo, Mammoth, Seymour, and Private Hive to take her revenge and destroy the Teen Titans. Her team was once under attack by the evil witch known as Mother Mae-Eye, and Jinx later reformed her group by recruiting Billy Numerous and Kid Wicked. However, the rest of the team members didn't really take their roles too seriously, and they were often defeated by the Titans. The H.I.V.E. also caught the eye of the Brotherhood of Evil, and Jinx was then determined to prove herself to their co-leader, Madame Rouge. She briefly fought alongside the Brotherhood, and was once even sent on a mission to capture Kid Flash. While she initially captured him to impress Madame Rouge, Jinx eventually developed feelings for him, and even turned to the good side to fight by him. After defeating several villains, the Titans decided to make her an honorary Titan, and she was later even seen hanging out at the Titans Tower.
But this isn't it!
Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo Jumbo, also known as just Mumbo, was initially just a small-time magician whose life turned around when he came across a conjurer's hat and wand that had real magician powers. While he could now perform real magic, his new forces drove him insane, and he even started committing thefts and other crimes that got him into trouble with the Teen Titans. He once robbed a jewelry store and got into trouble with Cyborg and the rest of the Titans, and Robin eventually got his hands on Mumbo's wand. After Robin broke the wand, Mumbo returned to his normal self with no powers. He was even sent to prison, but later broke out and ran into the Titans once again. Raven then made fun of his magic skills, and in retaliation, he used his powers to transport the Titans into a pocket dimension in his hat. He then turned them into animals, and then decided to use them in his theater show, but Raven eventually found a way for them to escape. Mumbo then appeared as part of the Brotherhood of Evil, and Beast Boy eventually defeated him during a fight at the Brotherhood's base. Cinderblock. Cinderblock's exact origins remain a mystery, but he was known as a criminal entity who used to work for Slade. He was known for his brute strength and ability to defeat his opponents, and he first appeared in an episode where he broke Plasmus out of jail under Slade's orders. He was later sent to fight Robin and attack a quarry outside Jump City. Moreover, he once again combined with other villains, such as Overload and Plasmus, to create a giant monster named Terrion. Eventually, Terrion was broken apart, and Cinderblock returned to his usual mission of creating trouble for the Teen Titans. He even put up a good fight, and it took Beast Boy, Cyborg, Starfire, and Raven to finally defeat him. Cinderblock disappeared for some time, and he later appeared as part of the Brotherhood of Evil, where he worked alongside Johnny Rancid to capture Mazimenos. He was later in the final fight alongside the Titans, where he was eventually defeated. While Cinderblock was not exceptionally known for his intelligence, he was quite a powerful character that could beat just about anyone. His body was made out of concrete, which made it very hard for his opponents to cause any actual damage to his physique. Control Freak. Control Freak had declared himself to be the arch nemesis of the Teen Titans, and he was essentially a human being with a remote control that allowed him to warp reality. He actually used this remote control to alter the world according to his whims, and thus had not committed any large-scale crimes that made him a real danger. He once got into a fight with a clerk at a video store and animated the objects in the store to fight the Teen Titans when they showed up at the scene. He was eventually defeated by Robin and sent to prison, but he broke out of jail and even showed up in front of the Titans to boast about the fact that he had freed himself. Beast Boy then defeated him, and he joined the Brotherhood of Evil to take revenge against the Titans. He was a technological genius who could animate non-living objects with the help of his remote, and even summon characters from a secondary reality known as the TV dimension. Gizmo. Gizmo was an expert at handling technology and was a prominent member of the HIVE. He was a young boy who had received his training at the HIVE Academy, and Slade later recruited him along with his HIVE team members such as Jinx and Mammoth. Slade had asked them to prove their powers by defeating the Teen Titans, and they put up a good fight during this altercation. Gizmo even used his knowledge to take over Cyborg's systems and messed with Cyborg's T-Car. Eventually, Gizmo was trapped by the Master of Games and forced to participate in a competition. Robin then came to his rescue and even made him an honorary Titan. However, Cyborg objected to this and took his new title away from him as he did not trust Gizmo. The two faced each other once again when Cyborg joined the HIVE Academy in disguise. After Cyborg eventually caused the Academy's destruction, Gizmo joined the Hi-5 before finally joining the Brotherhood of Evil. Gizmo was a short, young boy who had a green suit and had a harness on his back. He used this harness as his main weapon, which had built-in legs, helicopter rotors and jets, blaster pods, and rocket launchers, all within itself. Gizmo could use any of these weapons to aid him in his fights, and he was quite a technological genius who had created all of these weapons on his own. Plasmus. Plasmus was a human-turned-mutant monster who would transform into a huge purple monster whenever he was awake. He was usually kept in custody in a stasis tank to keep him from turning into a monster, but Cinderblock had stolen his tank so that he would assume his monstrous form and stir up trouble for the Titans. He had even captured Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy after his transformation, but Robin and Cyborg then defeated him. Eventually, Plasmus started consuming sewer water, which turned him into an even more inhuman creature who was often recruited by Slade to create trouble for the Titans. After Terra joined hands with Slade, they sent Plasmus to distract Robin and Cyborg, while they then destroyed the rest of the Titans. Slade once combined Plasmus with Cinderblock and Overload to create a stronger monster named Ternian, who was eventually defeated by the Titans. He was later seen working alongside the Brotherhood of Evil, and was primarily known for his superhuman strength. He could also regenerate his body after suffering any and all damage, and he could elongate his limbs whenever he wanted to attack his opponents from a distance. Dr. Light. Dr. Light, also known as Arthur Light, was one of the most intelligent beings who had ever gone up against the Teen Titans. He had a range of weapons, such as the ability to perform photokinesis, turn invisible, generate force fields, and so on, and he even had a lot of knowledge about technology and other scientific areas. He first clashed with the Teen Titans when he tried to rob a gold transport, and he managed to defeat Cyborg, Robin, Starfire, and Beast Boy during this attack. He was eventually defeated by Raven when she used her demonic powers to drag him into the darkness, and almost ended his life. While Dr. Light did survive the attack, he was pretty shaken up after this incident, and he later returned to crime when he drained an oil field to supercharge his suit. Robin and Raven once again got rid of him, and he later attempted to steal money from the Bank of Perez, before finally joining hands with the Brotherhood of Evil. He later abandoned the Brotherhood to rob the Bank of Perez on his own, just before the final fight between the villains and the Titans, but he failed in this attempt as well. Johnny Rancid.
You can't even catch me!
Johnny Rancid was a local villain in Jump City, known for committing crimes such as vandalism. Robin once encountered Johnny during his patrol, and the two ended up in a clash wherein Robin broke his arm. An extra-dimensional being named Larry visited Robin at the Titan's tower while recovering, and Larry's presence caused a lot of chaos on Earth. Johnny traced this energy disturbance to the tower and jumped right into an energy column created by Larry. He then transformed into a supernatural entity who could warp reality and wreak havoc all over the city. Eventually, Larry learned to control his powers, and he then captured Johnny Rancid and took his powers away. However, Johnny was later attacked by a mutated monster known as Silky, and he lost his strength briefly. After healing from this attack, he finally joined the Brotherhood of Evil, and wielded demonic powers that made him an even more powerful entity. He later joined the Brotherhood in their final fight against the Titans, but was defeated by an honorary Titan named Argent. Adonis. Adonis was a supervillain who first encountered the Teen Titans at an animal testing center, wherein he got into a physical fight with the Beast Boy. The two of them ended up spilling the chemical all over one another, which caused both of them to turn more aggressive. Adonis soon realized that he had become a super werebeast, and he used his newly gained strength to break into the Titan's tower and attack Beast Boy. Eventually, Cyborg created an antidote that helped restore Adonis and Beast Boy to their usual forms, and Adonis was then taken to the police. He eventually broke free and clashed with Cyborg before finally joining the Brotherhood of Evil. He worked alongside Atlas to capture Pantha when the Brotherhood was on a mission to eliminate all the younger superheroes in the world. However, Adonis failed in the mission and was later even defeated by Herald. It is unknown if he returned to the Brotherhood since he was not seen during the final battle against the Titans. He also didn't have any superpowers of his own, and he relied on his battlesuit to gain super strength. Warp, also known as Emile LaSalle, was a human being who could travel through time, and he often went back in time to steal historical artifacts. He ended up getting in trouble with the Teen Titans when he went back to steal a priceless clock, and he almost succeeded in his mission. However, Starfire followed him when he was about to use his vortex regulator to travel 20 years in the future. She even ripped off the vortex regulator from his arm, which caused Warp to start aging. Eventually, Starfire came across Robin's future self, aka Nightwing, and they went to their base and regrouped with the Titans in the future. They went together to defeat Warp and restore the timeline, and Warp eventually decided to join the Brotherhood of Evil. When the Brotherhood had planned to overthrow the Teen Titans in their final fight, Warp worked alongside Seymour, but Thunder eventually defeated them. Warp was quite a genius who knew how to navigate technology and time travel, and he even had access to a vast range of future technology that helped him defeat his opponents. Seymour used to study at the HIVE Academy before the place got shut down, and he later joined the Hi-5 team. He also joined the Brotherhood of Evil along with the other Hi-5 members, but he continued to pursue his own interests and hardly worked alongside the villains in the Brotherhood. Eventually, he did fight Herald alongside Warp during the final showdown between the villains and the Titans, but he was easily defeated. Seymour was notably known for his green helmet, which had an eye visor in the center, and his visor allowed him to change his powers. Every time he switched the dial, his eye changed changed color as well, and he could access a range of abilities such as laser beam projection, hypnosis, creation of eye-shaped bubbles, X-ray vision, and so on. Overload. Overload was a huge monster made of electricity, a creation of artificial intelligence that had gone rogue. He could absorb and control energy, and had first clashed with the Teen Titans when he raided an electronics store and drained all the gadgets of their powers. Cyborg soon discovered that Overload was vulnerable to water, and the Titans used this information to defeat him. Overload was then handed over to the police, but the police vehicle ended up crashing into Cyborg's T-Car. Overload used this opportunity to enhance the T-Car, and then take it over. He was later recruited by Slade to set up a trap to capture the Teen Titans. Slade eventually even fused Overload's body with Plasmus and Cinderblock to create a monster known as Turnian, but the creature was defused after Terra defeated Slade. Eventually, Overload was recruited by the Brotherhood of Evil, and he even fought Kilowatt during one of their encounters with the Titans. Kilowatt successfully defeated Overload by absorbing his electricity. Fang. Fang was a recurring villain who appeared in seasons 2 and 5 of the Teen Titans, and he was a spider-headed mutant affiliated with the Brotherhood of Evil. He was essentially a teenage boy with the body of a spider, and had physical features such as the ability to move across any surface and even shoot sticky spiderweb goo and venomous beams at his opponents. He was primarily obsessed with winning over Kitten, the daughter of the evil killer Moth. Fang often went to great lengths to commit crimes to impress her, which caused him to have a lot of run-ins with the Teen Titans. He had once even robbed a jewelry store to catch Kitten's eye, and later got arrested along with Kitten and Killer Moth. Eventually, Fang and Kitten were recruited by the Brotherhood of Evil, and Fang was later sent on a mission alongside Private HIVE to capture Jericho. Finally, Fang was defeated by Beast Boy during a fight with the Titans, and he was last seen getting defeated by Speedy.
Funny. It's wrong. The thrill of victory.
Thunder and Lightning. Thunder and Lightning were two supernatural entities who had ended up in a conflict with the Titans due to some coincidence, and they eventually became honorary members of the Teen Titans. They were brothers who resided in Jump City and were even referred to as the Forces of Nature. The two had caused chaos around Jump City while they were on an adventure of their own, and the Teen Titans soon realized that their intentions were not exactly evil. However, Slade had managed to befriend Thunder and Lightning and use them to create a fire monster to destroy Jump City. The two of them soon realized that Slade was manipulating them, and they then made amends for their actions by creating a rainstorm that got rid of the fire monster. Their names reflect their powers, as Thunder could create powerful thunder blasts, while Lightning could create bolts of energy and even summon lightning.
Don't worry, we're gonna get
Kardiak. Kardiak was a mysterious artificial creature who resembled a giant heart, and the exact nature of his body and origins are still unknown. He was quite a dangerous villain whose main aim was to kidnap children, and he was allegedly created with the purpose of just kidnapping people. Kardiak first faced the Teen Titans when they showed up at the scene and prevented him from kidnapping a child. During this altercation, Raven had used her powers to rip his body apart, and the body fragments had fallen everywhere. Kardiak rebuilt himself and then continued to kidnap children, but the Teen Titans thwarted most of his attempts. He later joined the Brotherhood of Evil and fought against the Titans on many attempts, but Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg mostly defeated him. Kardiak was quite a unique entity who could create mechanical devices using his tentacles, and he could even transform his body and rebuild it from scratch in the case of any injuries.
Titans, move!
Soto. Soto was a harmless alien who would accidentally become a nuisance for the Teen Titans. He was an alien being whose body was created out of living stone, and he had a run-in with Beast Boy when his pet dog ran away and ended up coming across the Teen Titan. Soto's dog was quite an intelligent being who did not like being owned by someone as childish as Soto, and he escaped to Earth in an escape pod. While Soto searched for his dog, he ran into Beast Boy and decided to kidnap him and make him his new pet. While Soto prepared to take Beast Boy back to his home planet, the other Titans mistook Soto's dog for their fellow Titan. They eventually tracked Soto down and rescued Beast Boy, who attached a dog collar to Soto's neck. As the story arc ended, Soto agreed to become his dog's pet, and the two returned to their home planet. Soto was quite childish and immature, and he would often throw a fit and even try to fight anyone who would not give in to his demands. Nega Beast. Nega Beast was not a recurring villain in the show, and he hardly appeared in one episode as the evil clone of Beast Boy. Trigon had created him by extracting the evil that resided within the Titans, then creating evil clones. He then sent Nega Beast Boy to fight the real Beast Boy. Since Nega Boy had matched Beast Boy in his abilities and combat skills, Beast Boy had a hard time defeating him. Eventually, Cyborg took over and defeated Nega Beast Boy by overpowering him, and the evil clone then evaporated into red energy wisps that returned to Beast Boy's body. Nega Beast Boy had all the same abilities as the regular Beast Boy, and some other powers as well, such as the ability to transform into any animal. Private Hive. Private Hive formerly worked as one of the members of the HIVE Academy and the Hive-5 before joining hands with the Brotherhood of Evil. He was a skilled fighter with a military background before he joined the HIVE Academy, but the entire place was destroyed after some conflict between Cyborg and Brother Blood, who was the Academy's headmaster at the time. Private Hive then decided to join the Hive-5 group created by Jinx, and he fought the Teen Titans on many occasions while working with them. Eventually, he joined the Brotherhood of Evil and worked on many missions wherein he faced Robin, Beast Boy, and the other Teen Titans. He was a fierce warrior whose presence was essential to the organization he worked with. His military background had shaped him into a dedicated soldier who followed orders and carried out all his missions satisfactorily. While he had no superpowers, he was skilled in hand-to-hand combat and often used a hexagonal shield as his weapon. Punk Rocket. Punk Rocket was a musical artist who had a unique way of fighting his opponents, and he typically used his guitar to emit sonic waves and cause disruption. He was originally from England, and he had moved to the US and settled down in Jump City to spread the sound of chaos. He was skilled at combat, and he once even managed to defend himself against Robin, but his most powerful weapon was his guitar, which could blast subsonic bursts of energy and cause destruction. His guitar could also produce sound waves that were powerful enough to knock out almost anyone in his vicinity. He even had the ability to ride his guitar like a skateboard as a way to move around the place and wreak havoc. He eventually even managed to fend off the Titans, who struggled to find a way to capture him without getting caught in his guitar's waves. Beast Boy finally tricked Punk Rocket by increasing his guitar volume to a point where the system short-circuited, and he was then captured and sent to prison. He appeared in the show's 5th season and was seen joining the Brotherhood of Evil soon after getting out of prison. Steamroller. Steamroller was a cybernetic monster who worked alongside Brother Blood as well as the Brotherhood of Evil, and his main aim was to destroy the Teen Titans. He briefly appeared in seasons 3 and 5, where he was shown to be a resident of Steel City when Brother Blood captured and brainwashed him into working for him. After clashing with the Titans East alongside Brother Blood, Steamroller got recruited by the Brotherhood of Evil. He worked alongside Overload and Instigator to defeat the Teen Titans, but his plan soon backfired. Steamroller had superhuman strength and speed, and he was also quite durable. He could survive any attack without suffering much damage, and he had 2 metal cones in his hand that could be combined to form a roller that he used to attack his opponents. Katarou. First appearing in the show's 4th season, Katarou was a martial arts expert whose ambition was to train alongside H.I.V.E, also known as the True Master. While practicing martial arts, he walked down a path of crime in his hopes to locate the True Master. He even stirred up trouble with Robin and stole an important staff, which was all part of a plan to trick Robin into visiting the True Master. When Robin decided to visit the True Master, he faced several traps and tests to prove his worth, and Katarou followed him and cleared the tests easily. Eventually, Robin managed to defeat Katarou, and the True Master also declared him as a thief and threw him off a mountain. After realizing he didn't stand any chance to train with her, Katarou joined the Brotherhood of Evil organization to defeat the Teen Titans.
The Titans are clever, no? That is how they captured moi.
Andre Lebeck. Andre Lebeck was a member of the Brotherhood of Evil who initially operated as a professional jewel thief. His main aim was to get extremely rich by any means possible, and he had his first run-in with the Teen Titans while trying to rob the Bank of Perez. The Brotherhood of Evil had caused trouble for the Teen Titans, and Andre took this as an opportunity to rob the bank. However, he got caught by the East Titans, who had been on guard for any criminal activity in the absence of the Teen Titans. Eventually, the Brotherhood of Evil bailed him out and allowed him to join their team. He was a part of many fights against the Teen Titans, and he was once defeated by Beast Boy. Andre was known for his robberies, and he used weapons such as pipe bombs, ropes, and hooks to commit theft, and then swiftly escape the crime scene to evade arrest. He primarily appeared in the 5th season of the show, and he was also present in the final fight between the villains and the Titans. Malchior. Malchior was an ancient European dragon who had fought with the wizard known as Rorek of Knoll. While Malchior overpowered Rorek, the wizard used his magic to trap Malchior in his spellbook. Over the years, the spellbook ended up in the hands of Raven, and Malchior assumed the form of Rorek and manipulated her into believing that he was actually the wizard and that the dragon had imprisoned him in the book. Raven felt bad for him and broke the curse that freed him. Malchior then showed his true colors and attacked the Titans. Eventually, Raven used Rorek's curse to trap him into the book once again, but he freed himself and joined the Brotherhood of Evil. He was an evil-spirited dragon who could breathe fire and work with dark magic. Moreover, Malchior was a master manipulator who had managed to deceive Raven, who had almost fallen in love with him before discovering his true nature.
Don't worry. I'll take
Puppet King. Puppet King referred to a life-sized puppet who had gained his powers through magical means, and then aimed to take control over Jump City. He even had a magical remote control that would transfer the souls of humans into puppets, and vice versa. He also created life-size puppets of the Teen Titans and sent them to their base. Puppet King sneaked inside the Titans' tower and intended to switch the souls of the actual Titans with their puppet versions. While he managed to get Robin, Cyborg, and Beast Boy under control, Raven finally caught him red-handed and got her hands on his remote control. She eventually destroyed the remote control, thereby ensuring that the rest of the Titans returned to their usual selves. However, this also caused the Puppet King to lose his powers and reverted into a lifeless puppet. He somehow returned to life and joined the Brotherhood of Evil to stir up more trouble for the Teen Titans. He fought in countless battles against them and even survived the final battle between the Titans and the villains. Puppet King was skilled in performing magical acts, and he especially could transfer souls and force his victims to follow his orders. He was a professional puppeteer who knew how to command people and was also quite strong.
Yes, Mother.
Mother Mae-Eye. Mother Mae-Eye was a twisted villain who appeared kind and motherly on the outside, but was a manipulative witch who wanted to convince children to love her. After getting them to love her, Mother Mae-Eye intended to bake them into a pie that could further enchant more children into loving her. She appeared in the show's 4th season when Cyborg bought some pies from her. After the Teen Titans ate these pies, their behaviors started changing, and they became pretty needy and childlike. They were even put under a mind control spell on eating the pie, and started believing that Mother Mae-Eye was their actual mother. She even transformed the Titans' tower into a giant gingerbread house, and eventually intended to bake them all into a pie. Her spell was broken when Starfire accidentally got injured and snapped out of the hallucinations, after which she brought the other Titans to their senses, and they all defeated Mae-Eye.
This was starting to get fun.
Conclusion. To sum it up, the Teen Titans surely faced a lot of trouble due to these villains, who stirred up chaos and dedicated their lives towards making things hard for the Titans. While some of these villains constantly appeared throughout all 3 seasons, others kept coming and going. They collectively made things quite entertaining for the viewers and added a lot of drama to the series. Who are your favorite Teen Titans villains? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Until next time, have a good one and be safe.